A very warm welcome, a good morning, everyone at Panacea today. We are helping in overcoming the post COVID 19 and tuberculosis, anxiety, treatment, and mental health. And today we have three beautiful sessions today on yoga, psychiatry, and TB awareness initiative. I welcome Ms. Shohini Roy Chaudhary at her yoga session today. She's gonna take us to the world of yoga today in the morning for an hour session, and we hand over the virtual dais to you, ma'am. Now, I welcome you, ma'am. You can hear me? Yes.
Namaskar, good morning to all of you, and I would like to thank Pooja, Elets, Narayana Health, Beatrice for creating Panacea, a project that ensures the health of the nation by talking about self-care, yoga, care of the body, and care of the mind with their psychiatric sessions, their medical sessions. So, as you know, as we all know, the COVID upsurge has been quite alarming, the second wave or third wave or whatever it may be. And we have to keep ourselves safe and secure. The only way to do that is keep physically active, to nourish our bodies by eating well and to stay very positive, which can happen with yoga, with hard work, with physical activity, and with a good nutritious diet. Also, tuberculosis is one of the greatest threats to human health and human life. And in India alone, in a year, we have 1 million patients of tuberculosis. The bacteria attacks our lungs and our lungs are compromised. So today, I will focus on a yoga regimen, which you can do every day actually, for better health and to strengthen your lungs, to strengthen your respiratory system, and to build overall resistance. Tuberculosis, as you know, India has been combating it for a long time, but yet there are alarming rates of growth in the death rate and in the rates of the patients suffering from tuberculosis. And it is important to note that it is not restricted to the marginalized societies, the marginalized sections, because it is not due to malnutrition and not the lack of availability of funds or food among the marginalized sections only. It happens to the middle classes and the upper classes, to the younger generations, due to the fad diets, due to trying to get those super thin figures, and you starve yourself or you starve your body of essential nutrition, and you're affected by tuberculosis. That is something that we need to combat. It's your attitude. Please be very proud of your body shape and own it. Nourish it, take care of it, learn to love it. And don't aspire to be super thin, because your body is your temple and you need to nourish it. We need to keep tuberculosis at bay with the right diet, nourishment. If one is afflicted by it, of course you need to get on to your course of antibiotics and professional medical help. Yoga will only substantiate and complement you to fight tuberculosis, build up resistance, but the main part of it is the correct medication. Saying that, I will start with a warm-up of 3 kinds of pranayams, which is absolutely essential to fortify your lungs, to build more resistance, to strengthen your respiratory system, to open up your chakras, also to energize you, to fight nervous attacks, to fight anxiety attacks, depression, lethargy, lack of energy, and to feel motivated and dynamic in the morning. Sometimes it may be difficult because a lot of us are working from home and we don't know yet when the COVID will leave and give us the freedom that we've always had. So to keep your morals high, to keep your dynamism, to keep your aspirations and your energy level high and keep the positivity factor going, we need to do our pranayams, because that is automatically inhaling oxygen, which is the greatest detoxifying chemical that can enter our body and recharge all our cells, all our organs. And as we exhale the toxins out, it's an automatic spa process that the body goes through with oxygen and is extremely important. Those of you who have a medical problem and can't sit on the floor, or you're much older, so you have a problem sitting on the floor, you can sit on your sofa, your bed, or your chair while you're watching TV, listening to music, or waiting somewhere. You can be doing your pranayams with your upper part of the body. So we will first start with the Bhastrika pranayam, which is the bellowing breath practice that is prescribed as a way of keeping tuberculosis at bay. And if somebody has already suffered or is suffering from tuberculosis, it helps the healing process and it helps creating resistance once again. For the Bhastrika pranayam, I will be doing the Padmasana, which is the lotus feet. You could also do it in Sukhasana, plain crossing your feet. So if you can't do the Padmasana, Padmasana also strengthens your spine, your entire body, your lower body, and creates physical and mental equilibrium. I will sit at Padmasana, crossing the legs. The hand is at Dhyana Mudra, your index fingers and your thumbs touching. Put on your knees, look up straight. As you breathe in, relax your muscles, lose your stomach muscles. As you breathe out, pull in your stomach muscles. So we first breathe out and breathe in with the nostrils, not with the mouth, making a sound, alert breathing. We fill our lungs. Breathe in and breathe out and contract, pull in your stomach. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. As you pull in your stomach, try as if you're touching your navel to your spine. That's how you pull in your stomach. And you lose all your muscles and put out your stomach when you inhale. So you inhale the oxygen, let the oxygen enter your body, all of it. And this Bhastrika pranayam should be practiced for 50 breaths to be effective. So let us do that regimen, let us do that 50 breath, all of you. Let's start. Breathe in, breathe out. 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 Out. In, breathe out. Contract your muscle. Breathe in, stomach is puffed out. Breathe out, pull in your stomach. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep your eyes closed. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. We've done a cycle of 10. We are going to do 5 more such cycles, so it tells you exactly how many Bhastrika pranayams to do. So the next cycle, cycle 2 of 10 breaths. Inhale, exhale. 3, 4. Pull in your stomach as you exhale. Inhale, lose your stomach muscles. Exhale. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, second cycle over. Third cycle begins. As you inhale, puff out your stomach, lose your muscles, and inhale the oxygen till you can take in no more. When you exhale, pull in your stomach, contract your stomach muscles, and exhale. The oxygen will detox your system, pulling in the oxygen into your body, breathing right, sit very straight, firmly on your mat or wherever, elongate your spine and go on to the third round of Bhastrika Pranayam or bellow breathing. 3, 6, 9 and 10. This was your third round. 2 more rounds, you would be feeling better, more positive, more energized, more oxygen in your brain and your body. So, fourth round of bellow breathing. Breathe in, puff out your stomach, relax your stomach muscles. Breathe out, exhale and pull in your stomach muscle. 4, 7. So there goes your fourth cycle of Bhastrika breathing. 1 more to go. Ready? Begin. Breathe in, relax your stomach muscles. Breathe out, pull in your stomach muscles totally. As you breathe, you can hear your breath like the ocean. It relaxes your mind and body, calms down, de-stresses you, helps you against nervous breakdowns, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, fights depression, brings more confidence, energizes you for the day and builds positivity, builds resistance, of course. Your chest chakras open up, help you breathe better, and helps detoxify your body and energize all your organs. So we go on to the last cycle of Bhastrika Pranayam in the Jnana Mudra, cross-legged in the Sukhasana or Padmasana as I'm sitting, hands straight over your knees, pointing upwards. Ready? Begin. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Congratulations, all of you have done 50 Bhastrika Pranayams and are ready to take on the day. Next, you can change the posture of your leg. You can stretch out a bit if you were sitting in Sukhasana or Padmasana. I will change my legs and get back to Padmasana and do the Kapalbhati, which is breathe in fully, losing your stomach muscle, full breath till you can have no more air left. When you let out your breath, it is in a strong spurt, pulling in your stomach each time and in a cycle of 5. So I pull in, stomach puffed out. Now give it up. So the oxygen is out. Inhale again till you can take in no more. Lose your stomach muscles. Now contract your stomach. Pull in your stomach and diaphragm each time and exhale in 5 breaths, short and strong. Here we are breathing through our diaphragm. This shown, we will do a cycle. We will do the opposite. Now, the opposite Padmasana, the left over right first. You could sit at Sukhasana and do it. Here we go. Pull in and exhale. Inhale. Let your stomach muscles go. Relax and exhale, pulling your stomach muscle. Inhale. puffing out your stomach muscles. Exhale, contracting the stomach muscles. Inhale and exhale. 5. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. 7. Inhale, puffing out your stomach muscle, and exhale, contracting your muscle, pulling in your diaphragm, breathing through your diaphragm. 9. Inhale and exhale, pulling in your diaphragm. Inhale, exhale. Last time, inhale and exhale, pulling in your diaphragm each time that you exhale, short and strong. Excellent. You've done the Kapalbhati. I would like to tell you, Kapalbhati is not to be done after eating a full meal. There should be at least a gap of 1 hour, and not for pregnant women at all. If you have high blood pressure, you're not to do this. Next, we move on to the alternate breathing, the Viparit Karan, where you can sit at Sukhasana, just cross your legs, or you can sit at Padmasana again. The left hand over your left knee in the Jnana Mudra, the index finger and the thumb pressing, which also has therapeutic effects on the body. It balances your chakras, it pushes energy into all your channels and helps your lungs, helps your respiratory system, your cardiac system, and balances your mental and physical equilibrium, this mudra itself. So over the knees, the right hand, the thumb pressed over the right thumb pressed over the right nostril, and we breathe in through the left nostril, breathe out through the right nostril, and breathe in again through the right nostril, breathe out through the left nostril. So we are going to do a round of 10, but like I showed you the Bhastrika pranayam, all pranayams to be done between 50 and 500 times. The more you can do it, the more effective it is. And if you build it into your daily regimen, your daily routine, you'll see good effects on your body and mind within 5 days. I will be doing it 10 times or 15 times, as we just have limited time with you, as I need to move on to the asanas too. But if you could do all the pranayams 50 times minimum and 500 or more, it would be extremely beneficial for you, and you would see the benefits to your mind and body especially within 5 days of a regular yoga regimen. So we start right thumb over the right nostril, breathe in through the left nostril, inhale, then block the left nostril with your ring finger of your right hand, release your right nostril and breathe out. Breathe in through your right nostril, lock the right nostril, release the left nostril and exhale. Breathe in through the left nostril and breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right, block the right, release the left, exhale. Breathe in through the left nostril, deep breath, exhale through your right nostril. Breathe in through the right, exhale. Six. Inhale, exhale through the right, Inhale through the right. Fill your lungs with air. Exhale through the left. 9, 10. You should actually feel hyperactive now with all that oxygen entering your body. It detoxifies your body, throws out the toxin each time you exhale, and this is the cheapest spa, the cheapest and most effective spa that you can do it from anywhere in your house, in your office, or anywhere else. So this completes the pranayam routine for today. I will do some light stretching and warm-ups before we go on to the other asanas. Stretch out your legs in front of you. I hope you can see. Stretch out your arms. We are going to do Paschim Uttan Asana, where we touch our toes with our hands. We lift up our hands and we touch our toes. Some of you cannot touch your toe. You can touch your ankles, touch your knee, or however flexible you are. And as you do this, elongate your spine completely, straighten. Pull in your breath. Hold your shoulders straight. And as you go down, rest your forehead on your knees. And count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For men, this is very good for your prostrates. For women, for your uterus, for your ovarian health, and for your overall bowel movement, for your lower back, and for your calf muscles. This is an overall yoga asana that really helps. The Paschim Uttan Asana. Hands up, stretch up, interlock your fingers, and as you breathe in, come down, elongate your spine, and lower your forehead onto your knees. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Very good for your lower back, very good for your spinal health, and for your lung health. Next, we are going to do the Tadasana, which is the mountain climbing posture, which is known as the asana for the lung because it opens up your lungs and chest, clears up the channels, clears up your sinuses, helps oxygen enter your body and stretches out your spine. This is absolutely a must for all those who have suffered from tuberculosis, and it is very good for your structure, for your bones, for your framework, overall body toning, but it is known to be prescribed as an asana for the lungs and the respiratory system. Fortifies us, builds more resistance, and is meant for keeping tuberculosis at bay. When we breathe in, we are going to stand on our toes and our hands stretched over our heads as much as you can, fingers interlocked, so the body is in the mountain climbing position. We will count 10 in that position, holding your breath, and then release and come down again, exhale. So go, breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and exhale. We will do it 2 more times. Breathe in, hands up, pointing to the ceiling, fingers interlocked on your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is also very good for your mental and physical equilibrium, tones your body and creates resistance, makes your lungs stronger, fortifies your respiratory system. Once again, ready? Inhale as we reach out for the skies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Exhale. asana done, we will go into the Trikonasana, the triangular posture, which is also prescribed as a remedy and as therapeutic for the tuberculosis patients, and of course to create resistance. It also takes care of your lungs, but also of your kidneys and livers. Trikonasana, ideally you should hold the posture for 1 minute totally. Feet 3 feet apart, the right leg turned outside because that's the side we are going to bend. Hands straight at shoulder level. As you breathe in, take your left arm up facing the ceiling and come and touch the floor. Keep your arms up straight and gaze at the ceiling with your hands. We would like to do this for 1 minute. Keep this posture. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's half a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and finally 10. Come up, come up, come up. You all did it, yes? At the shoulder level now. 1 full minute if you hold. It is supposed to be very good for your livers and kidney. Both kidney and liver functions will be really helped with this. And as I said, if you do this regimen every day for 5 days, you'll feel the therapeutic effect on your body. Now we do the left, and we need to hold this for 1 minute. That really helps your blood circulation and your elimination of toxins. That is absolutely necessary. Now we will turn see my feet are 3 feet apart. 3 feet apart. My left feet is turned outside, as if I'm going to walk off into the left. Arms straight at shoulder level. Now we will reach out, stretch out the upper right arm and left arm on the floor. Up there, look at your arm, look at the ceiling, and we start our 1 minute regimen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One last. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and get up. I will repeat this cycle once for a shorter span because we run out of time otherwise. But if you do even one round of each, 1 minute, holding it for 1 minute straight, it will definitely help your body. And this really helps your blood circulation, as I said, your lung, but your kidneys, your liver is helped grossly with the blood circulation, the detoxification. And this is always recommended for having a therapeutic effect on the tuberculosis patient. If you've suffered already, it helps fortify your lungs more, helps build resistance. And if you want to keep it at bay, this is a very effective asana. So once again, feet 3 feet apart, the right foot turned outside as if you're going to walk off into the right, arms at shoulder level, and take your left arm up towards the ceiling, right hand on the floor, and here look straight at your arm into the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ideally, please continue to hold this posture for 1 minute. Here we come up at the shoulder level straight, and we repeat once with the left. Feet 3 feet apart for Trikonasana, the triangle. The left feet pointed outside as if you're going to walk off into the left. Right hand up now and left hand on the floor. Bend your body, look straight at your hand pointing to the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Here we are. Join your legs. If this stretches out this is also very good for your thighs, upper body and your calves. It strengthens the muscles and tones them. Next we are going to do the Vajrasana. Vajrasana is here we sit on our knees. The feet, the toes are close to each other. The toes are joined. And this is the Vajrasana posture where we will hold the Namaskar at the back. And count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. We will do it once again. Hold your Namaskar at the back. This stretches out your spine, stretches out your chest and helps the lungs to breathe better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now keeping the Vajrasana posture, the posture where your knee is sitting, we will get into the Shishu Asana. Stretch out your arms as much as you can in front. I hope you can see me. Grip the floor well with your palm and put your forehead on the floor to stretch the overall body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Come up. We will do it once again to expand the lower body and to stretch out. Up here and you go down, grip the floor with your palm and stretch out your entire body in your spine. Keep your forehead on the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. And come up once again. We will now, I would like to show you the Surya Namaskar, my version of it, which is a complete body regimen on its own and it's split up into 9 asanas, which I will do with you. And if you can, times like this when you can't work out at a gym or you can't even go for a walk for COVID restrictions, if you do the Surya Namaskar regimen 21 times, it is a complete body workout. It's a complete cardio and body workout. Besides the effects it has on our body, it helps almost, it's a complete body workout and it helps every organ, every part, every muscle of our body. So today I'll show you my version of the pranayama, of the Surya Namaskar, which I have extended certain parts because that really helps my body, helps me dance. So we will first start with the Namaskar or the Pranam Asana, which is just your Anjali Mudra like this, holding it. Here you hold it in front of you. This is the Pranam Asana. Make sure you're standing straight, your shoulders not drooping, your hands pressed against each other well, and at least 8 inches away from your body. The hands should be 8 inches away from your body. You can feel the stretch here. Feel the stretch upper arm. Feel the stretch in the shoulders and Pranamasana for count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. From the Pranamasana, we will go into the Hasta Uttan Asana, lifting up your hand asana. The Hasta Uttan Asana, we will Stretch out like the Tadasana and bend at the back and stretch. That's it, that's the second part. Now we will do the Hasta Padosana, which is touching the toe. I prefer to touch the floor, however low you can bend. Now elongate your spine, breathe deep and elongate your spine, and I touch the floor and take my face towards the knees, but you can touch as much as you can. And count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, this is the Dandasana, the Stikasana, but we will go to the Ardho Mukha Svanasana, the dog posture. Stretch out, lift up the right leg and bring it in front and get into the equestrian pose. Look up. The Ashwa Sanchalasana, the horse rider posture, and count 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I will repeat with my left leg first. Get into the Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward dog posture. Take your head in between your elbows. Lift up your left leg and bring it in front to the horse rider pose posture. Look up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We take it back to the Adho Mukha Svanasana, the downward dog posture. Now we will get into the Ashtanga Namaskar posture. We bring your knees down on the floor, and you can see Ashtanga Namaskar posture means where 8 parts of your body touch the floor, 8 parts of your body are in the Namaskar posture. So now we have 2 feet, 2 knees and 2 hands on the floor. That is 6 parts. The 7th and the 8th part is your chin and your chest. That would touch the floor, but your hips and stomach will not touch the floor at all. So we get into the Ashtanga Namaskar. Here we go. Your chin and your chest is touching the floor. From there, get onto the Bhujangasana or the Cobra posture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. From Bhujangasana back into the Adho Mukha Svanasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 2, touching the toes or touching the floor. The Hasta Padosana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly get up to the Tadasana. I prefer to do the back bend once again. The Uttana Hasta Sana here. And come back to the Pranamasana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We will do a repeat, 2 repeats in fact, so you can note down how to do it. The video will be live, so you can do it every day with this video too till our next session. So here we go. The Pranamasana. I like to hold each one for 10 seconds because it stretches my body. The back bend. Stretch out your spine and go down, touch the floor. Try to bring your forehead near your knees. The downward dog posture, the Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stretch as much as you can. The horse rider posture. The Ashwa Sanchala Asana. Stretch your body completely. Ideally, you should do this in the morning, taking all the blessings of the sunlight and sun. Left leg up and back into the equestrian posture. Hold for 10 seconds. Get onto the downward dog or the Adho Mukha Svanasana posture. Stretch as much as you can. Knees on the floor. 6 parts of the body on the floor. The Ashtanga Namaskar. Now the 7th and the 8th part are your chin and your chest, while your hips and your stomach is away from the mat, away from the floor. And this stretches out your body completely, tones your stomach, tones your arms and your back, and it's overall very good for you. Here we go. Touch your chin and chest to the floor and glide into the Bhujangasana, the Cobra posture, which is also very good for your back. If anybody has a backache, the Bhujangasana really helps. It is also good for trimming your stomach, tightening the stomach muscle and strengthening the lungs. Bhujangasana is also therapeutic for tuberculosis. We go back into the downward dog, the Adho Mukha Svanasana. Stretch as much as you can. Take your head closer. And we go on to the touching the floor. Come up to Tadasana first and do the back bend. And back to your Pranam Asana, which is actually very good, not to be taken lightly, in the sense that your hands are pressed very tightly together. That automatically tones your chest, the muscles there, opens up the channels, and also your hands being pressed to each other, the channels in the body open up to allow more oxygen. I think that would be all for the Surya Namaskar. Next we will go on to some of the mudras that help you keep fit and keep both COVID, tuberculosis and other ailments at bay by creating more resistance, by fortifying your lungs and by energizing yourself. I will do some mudras with the hands. The mudra yoga is a very important aspect of yoga. And as you know, we have nerve endings at the tip of our fingers. And there is always a way of fighting migraine, of fighting stomach upset, nausea, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, also stabilizing blood pressure, blood sugar. There are ways from our ancient Vedas where connecting certain fingertips with other fingertips really helps channelizing energy in your body in such a way that therapy happens. Today we shall do yoga with the gods, so you remember better. We will relate it to the god and do it. We have, first when we think of our Indian mythology, we have our creator Brahma. Brahma the creator. This is how, make your hand into a fist with your thumb tucked in within. Then invert it and press it here. Here you go. This is the Brahma Mudra. The Brahma Mudra helps you breathe better, sleep better, helps your lungs, helps your kidneys, helps your nervous system in a big way. Your nervous system must be kept in order. Brahma, the creator, this is the Brahma Mudra. It helps your respiratory tract, it helps your spinal health, helps your nervous system. So, if you're feeling a bit down or depressed about the COVID, not sure, uncertain of what is going to happen, sit with this mudra tightly for about a minute, 3 times, and you'll feel your I am moment. You'll feel energized, you'll feel stronger and dynamic. This is the Brahma Mudra. The fist, you make a fist but with the thumb inside, like this, and press it to each other. Hands are away from the body, like we do the Anjali Mudra, the Namaskar. Hands away from the body, shoulder not drooping, shoulders up, arms at the shoulder level, and here, the Brahma Mudra. The Brahma Mudra done, we will do the Bhairava Mudra or the Shiva Mudra. Here Shiva, as you know, is the meditator. So it's the right hand over the left hand like this. Arms at shoulder level, kept away from the body, body straight, spine very elongated. Here we keep it. This is the Shiva or the Bhairava Mudra. And the way our fingers are being pressed, it energizes us, it helps fight anxiety attacks, nervous attacks, it builds more confidence, but above all, it really helps our cardiac system. Here is the Bhairava Mudra. Hands are just straight, thumb together, interlocked fingers, right hand over the left hand and sitting straight like this. And for some of you who cannot sit on the floor, as I said, or you cannot sit in Padmasana, you are welcome to sit on a chair or on a bed or on a divan and do your mudras. If you do your mudras, each mudra for about 50 to 100 times, it really helps your overall energy level and your overall resistance. Here is the Shiva Mudra. After the Shiva Mudra, we will do the Durga Mudra or the Bhairavi Mudra. Shiva was right over left. The Bhairavi or the Durga Mudra is the left over right, but sitting in the same mudra. So now our other channels of the body are being energized. Exactly the opposite of the Shiva Mudra. Here we go. This really helps the thyroid system, the hormones of the body, and helps your nervous system. This is the Bhairavi Mudra or the Durga Mudra. We'll just do it again. Brahma Mudra, thumb in, fist, hands rolled up into a fist. Here we go. This is the Brahma Mudra. Shiva Mudra, right hand over left hand, pressed tightly to activate the active channels of our body. The Durga Mudra or the Bhairavi Mudra is the left over right to activate the passive channels of our body, because we need a complete equilibrium of the body. The mind and the body needs to be at equilibrium. Certain channels should be active and certain passive. Energy must pass through both equally to give us a healthy mind and body. This is the Durga Mudra. After Durga, we will go on to Ganesha Mudra. This is your right hand. Clasp it with your left hand like this and hold it here. Hold it here. Hands away from the body at chest level and at the shoulder level. No drooping arms, back very straight, sit tight, elongate your spine and breathe in 20 times with the Ganesha Mudra, which has therapeutic effect on the kidneys, on the thyroid and on your lungs. Ganesha Mudra once again. Fold your fingers in and clasp your right hand to your left hand and hold it straight here. This is the Ganesha Mudra. So we've done Brahma Mudra, Shiva Mudra or Bhairava Mudra, Durga Mudra or the Bhairavi Mudra, and the Ganesha Mudra. Next, we go on to the two Vishnu Mudras. Vishnu, as you know, has the Shankh. How will we do the Shankh? We will clasp the left thumb with the right hand, fold it in so the right thumb presses upon the ring finger of the left hand. This is your Shankh. This is very good for your nervous system, for your respiratory tract, and very good for the heart, if you can press this in. This is the Shankha Mudra. Again, I'll show it to you once again. 1 and 2. The left hand thumb is held on by the right hand, folded in, and the right thumb presses upon the left ring finger. This is the Shankha Mudra, the Vishnu Mudra, which helps your nervous system as well. Next, as you know, Vishnu has the chakra. How will we form the chakra? Like this. Here is your left hand and here is your right hand, in such a way that your right index finger presses upon the left thumb. Here you go. 1 and 2. The right hand index finger is pressing upon the thumb of the left hand, the chakra. This actually helps detoxify your system. This takes care of your hormones. This also takes care of your heart and your spine health, which is very important. This is the chakra. So the Vishnu Mudra, we have the Shankha and the chakra. The Brahma Mudra, the two fists with the thumb curled inside. The Shiva or the Bhairava Mudra, right hand over left. The Durga Mudra, left hand over right. Ganesha Mudra, right hand clasping over the left. All holding away from the body, arms at shoulder level. Breathe in and out, spine straight, elongate your back, sit very straight. Next, we go on to the Indra Mudra. Indra, as you know, is the king of gods. His weapon is the Vajra, the thunderbolt. So here is what we do. We clasp all our fingers so our index finger is out, and here we hold it straight. This is for more power, a better resistance, better nervous system, more confidence, and it really fights anxiety and depression. And you hold it away from the body, shoulders tight, chest pulled out, stomach pulled in, arms at shoulder level. Here is the Vajra, the Indra Mudra or the Vajra, which sets to energize you. So we've gone through all our gods today, the primary gods, that is Brahma Mudra, Bhairava Mudra, Bhairavi Mudra, Ganesha Mudra, Vishnu Mudra of the Shankh and the Chakra, and your Indra Mudra or the Vajra Mudra. One more mudra that you can do is known as the lung mudra or the bronchial mudra. Is your index finger is in, touching your thumb. Index finger is touching your thumb. Ring finger and pinky folded in, and here you go. The middle finger touching your thumb, the ring finger, the little finger and the ring finger folded in, and the index finger out. This is the bronchial mudra. This is supposed to help asthma attacks, fortifies your lungs so that you don't get a bronchial attack due to nervousness, and this actually fortifies your nervous system. Here you go. This is the bronchial mudra. The last mudra of the day would be the asthma mudra, which really helps asthma, helps you not to get panic attacks, not to suffer from lack of confidence or lack of energy, and fortifies your lungs. Here you go, all the fingers joined together, all five fingers with the five others, the middle finger. Fold it in and touch it like this. So the first knuckle of the middle finger of the right is touching the first knuckle of the middle finger of the left. This is the asthma mudra. This is how we hold it, and holding it for some time can actually stall asthma attacks, bronchial tension, and clears your lungs. This, once again, the bronchial mudra, index finger out, middle finger touching the thumb, the ring finger and the little finger folded in. This is the bronchial mudra. And your asthma mudra, five fingers pressed towards each other, the panchabhuta, and fold in your middle finger so that the top knuckle of the right middle finger touches or presses against the top knuckle of the left middle finger. Here goes your asthma mudra. I think we've completed a full regimen today of your pranayams, your yoga mudras, and your asanas. And I hope you have a great week, a healthy week, and a healthy month. Namaskar. See you soon at our next yoga session.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your session. And as usual, being associated with you has been a great pleasure always. Thank you so much. And with this opportunity, I also want to thank Viatris, Narayana Health, Elets eHealth for supporting us throughout for Panacea and further. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your session today.
Thank you very much, Pooja.
Thank you.
So if there are 100 cases in all over the world, 26 cases are from India. So such a high burden country we are having. And if you'll ask me, Mumbai and Peri-Mumbai area, that is Mumbai and Thane Municipal Corporation, have the maximum highest number of tuberculosis patients. In 2019, we almost had 79,144 deaths due to tuberculosis. All over the world, it is the around 1.8 millions of people have died because of tuberculosis.
अगर कोई आदमी अपने लाइफ में इस बात को उतार ले, उसका पालन करने लगे कि वो रोज सुबह उठे 4 बजे, 4:30 बजे, 5 बजे भोर में, और उसके बाद वो 10, 15, 20 मिनट, आधा घंटा टहल के वो योगा कर ले, 5-6 योगा का एक पैकेज अगर वो कर ले, वो कभी जिंदगी में बीमार नहीं हो सकता. यही प्रिवेंशन है.
Next, we will go on to the bronchial mudra, which is direct relations with your bronchial system, your respiratory system. Here is your hand. The middle finger is pressed.
Pooja, you're muted.
Hello, I welcome Dr. Shubhita with us. She's an RCS clinical psychologist, and she's practicing in Surat. She's the founder of PSY Lens Center. I welcome you, ma'am, to the session again of mental health. I'm sure that a lot of viewers will impart a great knowledge with your session. So I leave the virtual dais to you as you present your PPT.
Thank you so much, Pooja. Very glad to be here with all of you again. And today we are going to talk about an all important topic of virtual life and its impact on mental health. You will find that surprisingly, mental health can be very much affected by our screen use. So that's the topic for today. Can I have the slideshow on, please? Yes. So, we're talking now about how virtual life can play a role in our mental health. To do that, we need to fully understand what is mental health. Today, we are faced with so many problems which are actually appearing physical but may be very much linked by our mental health. And we see that people who are having a number of physical ailments, like, say, the COVID patients who are recovering, they are facing a lot of mental health problems also. Our society has been poised in a rapid pace for a long time now, and that has been taking a toll on mental health of people too. So let's look at the next slide. So here are a few details for people who might be, having some queries related to mental health. Our website, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube have been provided here. Please do join us on any of these forums if you have some queries. Let's go on to the next slide. So let's take a look at what mental health is. You can see that it's a state of cognitive, that is your mental functioning, and emotional as well as behavioral well-being, in which the person realizes not just his own abilities but can also cope with the normal stresses of life and work productively, as well as make a contribution to his or her community. So, mental health is all about feeling good in your mind, in your emotions, and also being able to behave as society requires us to behave. And while doing that, we also need to be realizing our fullest potentials, dealing with the normal stresses of life, and also working productively. Not that that's also not enough. To have a good mental health, you also have to be contributing to your community. So it's a big agenda, and mental health on the whole is a big agenda, but not much realized by us. The importance of mental health is something like this: it's about how we feel and think, which is central to the way that we live our lives. And just like our physical health, our mental health can have ups and downs too. So, yes, let's go to the next slide. On this slide here, we have some important mental health facts. One is that 1 out of 4 adults in their lifetime are likely to experience a mental health problem. Secondly, mental health illnesses and medical illnesses both respond to treatment. So a lot of people tend to think that mental illnesses are not something that is curable, and once you are diagnosed, you are likely to remain that way forever. So that's not true. Just like a medical illness, mental health conditions also respond to different types of treatment. Less than one third of adults and half of the children who are diagnosed with mental illnesses receive treatment, because there is a huge gap between the demand and need for mental health conditions and the treatments that can be provided, or the number of trained professionals in the field are very few as compared to the requirement. Now, about 90% of people who commit suicide are likely to have a diagnosable mental health disorder, which could have been treated and we could have saved a life. Now, looking after our mental health is a very important part of our lives, and if we can do so, we can enjoy our life better, we'll be able to work better, we'll be able to be achieving much more than we are when we have poor mental health. So, In order to do this, we have to achieve or strive for a balance between our life activities, responsibilities, and we have to achieve what is known as psychological resilience, which is the ability to withstand pressures. Let's go to the next slide. So, today in our lives, one very important word that we cannot do without in our dictionary is internet use. Everyone is logged on the internet. Even today, as we're speaking and connecting with each other, it's because of the internet. So, the internet has actually become inseparable in our lives, and we would want to use this for better and wider purposes over a period of time. At the same time, it has become like a guest in our house who won't leave even when we want it to. Let's go to the next slide. So here's a little joke. Yeah, how internet tends to rule our lives. We are so much hooked onto it, looking into our mobile phones all the time, either to read something or to watch some YouTube videos or to watch some Instagram posts, or we are even all the time trying to watch movies or read books also on it. So, so because of that, the Wi-Fi is like central to our lives. If Wi-Fi is not there, we don't know what to do. So much so that a young person here in this little cartoon doesn't even realize how close they are going to danger and is actually willing to face a shark in order to get a better Wi-Fi. So let's go to the next slide. As we can see here, screens, gadgets, and gizmos, they are now a part of our lives and we will not get rid of them. At a time when we were young, the only screens we knew were windscreen. And now you have the TV screen, you have the mobile screens, you have your laptop screens, and screens will go on and multiply in our lives. We'll probably never get rid of them and we'll never want to do that either. So, how do we find sanity in this digital world? Let's go to the next slide. First of all, we have to realize that all internet use is not bad. But if we are overusing it and it's creating a problem in our lives and it starts interfering with our day to day functioning, that's when it's becoming a big problem. So there are a number of terms that are used for problematic internet use, which is called like social media addiction. There are subtle differences between each of these terms. Sometimes we use the word gaming addiction because there are kids, teenagers, young adults who can't stop themselves from playing online games or computer games, and they are so much addicted to it that their life revolves around performing on these games. There is also something called virtual reality addiction, that is, you're all the time onto virtual games and virtual life in general. Next one, next slide. Okay, now here we have some terms, additional terms that you might hear related to problematic internet use, that is online gaming addiction, internet addiction, mobile addiction. And on the next slide, we have another term that has become a byword. All these new words are coming because of the internet use only. It's called nomophobia. So some people develop mobile addiction, that is, they cannot live without their mobile even for a few minutes. So if they are out of touch with their mobile for a short period of time, they become very anxious, they are very nervous, they cannot stay without their charger, and they have an urge to check their phone several times in a minute. Next slide. So, on the other hand, I would also like to caution our viewers that not all internet use is problematic, as I said before. You can be watching YouTube videos, you can be shopping online, you may check on your social media. It does not mean that you are suffering from an internet addiction disorder until you are full time onto these things. Let's look at the next slide. So, internet uses have its good parts and its bad parts. you can see here how this person actually starts using internet. It organizes his life, makes him more efficient, but it makes him inactive to the point that he's becoming obese and rooted to his chair and not being able to adopt any physical activities. So there is an ugly side to the use of internet. Let's look at the next slide here. So when when does this internet use become a problem? It usually starts with what is known as recreational use. That is when we start playing with games just to entertain ourselves. We also might be connecting with people, calling people. We might also try and explore making certain videos, taking certain filtered photographs. All of this is recreational use. At one point, this recreational use might become overuse. That is, we start doing it much more. Like, say, initially it started with an hour of use or a 2 hour use, and then it becomes 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So that is a overuse. Later on, it becomes a habitual use. That means that you can't stop yourself from looking at your mobile at certain points of time in the day. Like for a lot of us, when we got out of bed this morning, what did we do? What's the first thing we did? I think a great number would answer that I looked at my phone. And even though there's nothing that important on it, we might just open up WhatsApp right there in the morning before brushing our teeth also. So that is called habitual use. That is when it's become a habit for us to turn on the mobile for any and every purpose. Then we have the addictive use, wherein we start feeling terrible if we are not using the mobile. We don't know what to do with ourselves. We start becoming irritable if the phone is not around us, and we absolutely don't know to connect with people, or we start ignoring certain key responsibilities in order to use our mobile. Let's go to the next slide. So the term that we use for this kind of a problem is called screen addiction. So in screen addiction, we find that there is a deviant behavior, that is, it is not a normal behavior, which is characterized by a constant desire for being in a pleasant, subjective, emotional state, which is expressed as an active change in their mental state. And this is all connected with the screen use. So basically, it's a constant desire for being in a pleasant, subjective, emotional state by using the screen. Second, there's a constant preoccupation with acquiring this pleasant state. And third is that it tends to increase over a period of time. That means that the person is not satisfied with the shorter period of use and will have to use it more and more later on. Next slide. So, to describe the addiction in diagnosable terms, it means that there is a preoccupation with the screen use. Second, there are withdrawal symptoms when the screen is taken away. That means whenever the screen is away from the person starts feeling sad, anxious, or irritable, or even angry. Then there is a tolerance, that is the need to spend more and more time on the screen to satisfy the urge, because the older levels of use are no longer satisfactory. So we want to spend more and more time on it. Next slide, please. So these are the diagnosable symptoms of screen addiction as given in the DSM-5. One is an inability to reduce playing or being on the screen, and there will be unsuccessful attempts to reduce the screen use. The second thing that is seen is that there is a giving up of activities. मतलब बाकी सारी चीज़ें हम छोड़ना चालू कर देते जो हम पहले करते थे. कुछ बच्चे हैं जो पहले बाहर खेलते थे, but now they don't want to do that anymore. Some of us used to have friends and we liked being with them, but then now because of the screen we no longer want to be with the friends and we just want to be with the screen. So there's a loss of interest in things that you enjoyed earlier, and then there's also a continued continued need to remain on the screen despite problems. तो कई लोगों को हेडेक होता है, दे आर फीलिंग अनईजी इन द स्टमक, एसिडिटी बढ़ रही है, फिर भी हमें स्क्रीन पर ही रहना है. The other thing is, after a point of time, the person starts to lie about their screen behavior. Like people at home start saying, "What are you doing on the phone all the time? Give it up, leave it." But the person won't leave it and will start lying to people that, "Oh no, I was not on the phone just now. No, I was doing some office work or I was writing something." But that wouldn't be the truth. So that's when it's a serious problem, because a person then is probably not realizing how much time they are spending on the screen at that moment. Then the other thing is that such people who are addicted to screens will begin to use the screen to relieve negative moods. Like maybe there's a guilt, like I didn't talk nicely to my mother today. So, in order to relieve the guilt, instead of talking to my mother better, I just use the screen a little more. And then similarly, if we feel that I should have finished such and such assignment which was due for submission yesterday, in order to get out of that negative feeling, you again start looking at your screen and working on it. So a lot of people, because of such behaviors, might begin to jeopardize their school work or their office work, or they may even lose some important opportunities. And some of the times, they lose out on main relationships in their life because of screen use. Next one. So, screen addiction is not sudden, it comes in gradual phases and it goes in different stages. In the first stage, we have a light stage enthusiasm where internet is fun, we enjoy the virtual world in a recreational way. In the second stage, it's an enthusiasm stage where we become kind of, dependent on the internet, mainly as a need, like we want to use it as something, as a part of our passions and our identity, and we use it to escape different things. The third stage is a critical stage wherein we have become dependent already on the device or on the screen. So there are serious changes in the value sphere of our life. Like we no longer value people as much. We no longer value honesty as much. We don't. Maybe we stop valuing our work ethics as much. So even the semantic space of our lives starts to change. That means that part of our identity has now become connected with the activities that we do on the screen. So this is a very dangerous stage, and this screen use has become by then a part of our self-esteem and a part of our self-awareness. So like say I had a young man and he used to tell me that what I asked him, what do you do in the day? He says that, oh, I'm very good at playing chess, and I play such good chess on the mobile that everyone comes to watch me playing chess. So the chance of this happening is actually so remote, but the person is gaining such a kick in their self-esteem by thinking of himself as a very good player of online chess, that he cannot see the world in a realistic term anymore. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know that the value of what he's doing at that time is so little in the actual real world or the real time that he's actually missing out on a number of things in his life. The fourth stage is the addiction stage, wherein there's a compulsion. At this time, the person has very less attachment to anything outside of the screen, and they are so much attached to the screen that they try to leave it, but they cannot do so. And they start realizing that, okay, this is a little bit of a problem and I want to give it up for some time, because the hands are aching, my muscles are tired, my head is paining, I'm probably even getting a fever, or my eyes are strained, but still I cannot leave that. Next slide. So a lot of times addictions or screen addiction also has some comorbid psychiatric disorders, which are maybe a risk factor. That means it predisposes a person to develop such a screen addiction, and it could also be a consequence of such a screen addiction. So there's a strong association found between screen addictions and anxiety, depression, ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactive disorder, social phobia, poor psychosocial support, and antisocial behaviors, which in childhood and teenage life it may be called as conduct disorders. And one more condition, that is obsessive compulsive disorder, can also co-occur with these addictions. Let's go to the next slide. So here we look at what is the neurobiology of addiction. Now, the surprising thing is that the pathways or the brain pathways which are involved in screen addiction are the same as the pathways that are involved in other addictions like alcohol addiction, smoking addiction, or even drug use. So, what are these two pathways? One is the dopamine pathway and the other is the serotonin pathway. Both of these are responsible for a feeling of reward, then of controlling their impulses and having sensory motor coordination. So, because of the war, we see that both these pathways they are connected with the feeling of reward, pleasure, and happiness that comes from doing this activity. And second thing is, it is because of a lack of impulse control. Because as we are stopping ourselves from inhibiting such poor habits in us, so that kind of gets set in as a pattern of behavior. And over a period of time, we develop a faulty brain mechanism wherein we are lacking control over essential behaviors in our repertoire. The other thing is that dopamine, when it is released, it changes the reward system. So instead of getting satisfaction from delaying a reward, we start wanting instant gratification and like the exciting feeling that comes from doing something that is maybe risk taking or adventurous. So the same thing comes then from using the screens. Um, so as you can see, that's a very dangerous, thing to happen where there are long-term changes in our brain because of our poor habits of using the mobile or even watching too much of TV or using the laptop too much. Now let's go to the next slide. Here we see some of the psychological causes that lead to screen addiction. So what makes a person mentally predisposed to getting screen addiction? One is that if you were a person in your adolescence who could not tolerate much of frustration and got frustrated very easily, then you are more at a risk of developing such an addiction. The second thing is psychologically, the internet offers us a feel free kind of a space, a certain kind of freedom जो मतलब हम अपने घरों में बैठ के कितने लोगों से कनेक्ट हो सकते हैं दुनिया में. सेकेंड थिंग इज दैट हम अपने आप को किस तरह से पेश करते हैं वो हमारे हाथ में होता है. Like when we see people face to face, we can take in all the sensations, like how are they looking right now, how are they speaking, we can absorb all of that. But on the internet, instead of, if I want to talk like a different person with an accent, I can do so and people would not know how I look actually. I can post pictures on my domain which are not really me. So there is a certain kind of a freedom, as a lot of space in the internet can remain anonymous. So we can portray ourselves in ways that we want to. The third thing is that we can also, maybe it's possible that in our real lives, we were not able to get the kind of rewards and sensations that we really wanted, because we may have a limited communication ability, or we may have certain limitations in our own physical or mental abilities. Like, socho ke you might want to be good in sports, but you're not really good in sports. So on the virtual world, I can choose an avatar of myself, which is quite slim and fit and very good at sports, and portray myself in that way. So also, many times when we talk to people, there are certain things that happen. Like, कोई हमारी क्रिटिसिज्म कर सकता है, कोई हमें वो रिएक्शन नहीं देता है जो हम चाहते हैं, तो इस वजह से हमारी कम्युनिकेशन चेंज हो जाती है. लाइक वी फील अ लिटिल डिसअपॉइंटेड, ओ माय फ्रेंड डिडंट रिएक्ट द वे आई वांटेड हर टू, सो लेट मी फाइंड समबडी एल्स on the internet who can respond the way I want them to. So this is one of the factors that tends to maintain and cause screen addiction. Then the other thing is, for a lot of the people, we have had economic growth, and due to this, our homes may be bigger and our families may be smaller. So we may be isolated within our family, and sometimes we are isolated because we are migrants. Like, हम अपने फैमिली से काफ़ी दूर चले गए, रिश्तेदारों से जो दूर चले गए हैं. So we are in a state of we kind of become sort of isolated from the overall family to which we belong. Sometimes people become isolated because of overprotection in the family and an emotional distance that is created. So this causes at some level, this is actually responsible for the screen addictions that we have today. One more thing that actually leads to this problem is that there is a tendency towards antisocial coping strategies, emotional aloofness, and low communicative competence. This may also cause screen addictions. Next slide, please. So these are also some psychological predictors that lead us towards addictions, which is maybe having a low emotional intelligence. That is, we don't know how to understand our emotions and handle them better. Then smoking, alcohol, and drug users may also be more prone to having screen addictions too. Self-esteem issues, having poor adjustment abilities, having comorbidities, that is other conditions, like say maybe somebody has a cancer or a stroke or some other kind of physical condition which limits your physical movement, so that makes you more prone to having spending more time on your screen. Then your own personality, are you extroverted, do you like being with people, do you like to be with yourself, so that may also predict your screen use. Then having poor social skills may also be a predictor for screen use, and your socioeconomic status. So it's mainly the affluent person or the rich people who are more prone to having screen addictions. Next slide. Some more factors is like those people who are having poor role taking, and they are not able to take enough responsibility for their life and they need supervision. Such people may be prone to having such screen addictions. Sometimes there is a genetic and biological vulnerability, like hereditary factors also play a role. Socioeconomic factors, as I said, educational factors, supposing a person is having achievement problems and is not able to fare very well in academics, they are also more prone to have screen addictions. Then the loss of a parent early in life also predisposes people to having screen addictions, and chronic severe illness in a family member can also create this. Next slide. Now, the effects of screen addiction can be very tremendous. Like there may be physical impairments like headaches, eye strain, obesity, carpal tunnel syndrome, lung and heart activity decreases, and there is a very significant impact on sleep and appetite. So sleep tends to become disturbed. Appetite may be a tendency to go into junk food, and a lot of people actually lose weight because they are keeping such irregular food habits while they are addicted to the screen. Then there are cognitive impairments, that is decreased attention span, concentration, then impaired decision making, lowered problem solving, impaired short term memory, impaired cognitive flexibility. And all of this has been researched. Okay? Then there are social and behavioral impairments, like people who spend too much time on the screen would also maintain poor eye contact. There will be social skill deficits, as we are seeing in the younger generation now. There may be increased lying, there may be conflict with authority and parents, and stealing or deception, and academic neglect. In terms of mood, there is an increased irritability, increased aggression, increased anxiety, and depression. You will see that if you're a binge watcher of shows, or if you are continuously on the screen for a few hours, you will find that your mood starts dipping. Let's go now to the treatment part. Next slide. Go to slide number 25. That is the one after this. Yeah. So the first step is scheduling. You need to schedule your time, like how much time you're going to spend on your devices and screens, and how much you're going to spend with real-time activities and real-time people. If you have family who live in different cities and countries, then you need to balance your time that you spend on the phone, and also set aside a period of time each day when you turn off your phone and focus on something else. Second tip that I would like to give you is, let's go to the next slide for that. So try to have more in-person interactions with people physically near you. Have a short conversation with co-workers, chat with a classmate, chat with your neighbors, compliment somebody's outfits, connect with people at small levels. This may not lead to any great friendships, but they even might. The third tip, next slide. So you need to spend some time each day away from all technology. That is, try sitting in a quiet corner, write a letter, take a walk, explore a new outdoor area, or some new indoor activities also. Like things that you don't generally do. You may not be cleaning up some space in your house, you may not be cooking very often, but once you realize that you're screen addicted, then it might be quite useful for you to try some of this. Let's go to the next slide. Tip number 4 for you. Try leaving your phone at home for short periods of time. And when you're going to pick up some grocery, you're going to make a small purchase or to meet someone, let your phone be at home. If you're taking a walk, or if you're just sitting outside somewhere and looking at the scenery or nature, let your phone be somewhere else. Next tip number 5 for you. At night when you go to sleep, in order to get a more restful sleep, it would be very important to turn off your phone. If you need an alarm, better keep an alarm rather than the phone. Keep your phone at a distance far enough away from you so that you can't easily check it up at night, and you'll have to get up and go to the place where you have it. The next slide. Tip number 6 is seek help. If when you're listening to all of this and you feel that, okay, this is me and I've really overstepped my limit in terms of screen and I'm finding it difficult to detach myself, you may actually want to seek help from a mental health professional, who could be a psychiatrist or a psychologist or even social workers or any other counselors. And these people, what will they do? They will help you get clarity on your problem and entangle the issues that might be creating this problem in your life, and they might help you to choose the right ways to deal with it, and so that you actually solve the problems in a very healthy and appropriate manner. Next slide. So sometimes when a person is extremely deep into addiction, we may need some clinical interventions to help them, like doing a cognitive behavior therapy or taking a realistic approach to handling their problems, helping them to write journals and use something like systematic desensitization. And in some extreme cases, we might recommend medication like benzodiazepines or antidepressants may be needed, or clonazepam also. So this is the way in which to handle screen addictions. Let's come to the last slide, which is my thank you. Thank you to all of you for listening to me and giving me this opportunity to talk to you about this very important topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you
If
so
you
much for this presenting the slides and imparting a few very important points on mental health. We are receiving a few questions. I would like to ask you, like, how to deal with the insomnia due to the corona tension, which is cropping up in people. Like in the second surge is coming, and a lot of cases are coming up in all the states now. So, how important it is to balance the insomnia of an individual?
Yes, yes. I think sleep disturbances are precursors to many other mental health problems. So it's very important to handle your sleep routine properly. First and foremost, we need to be sure that we are using sleep hygiene. That is, there are certain things that we need to do in order to get our body to slow down and reach a state of calmness when we want to sleep. So for that, what we have to do is all our gadgets should be away from us at least 1.5 hours before bedtime. Second thing is that we should also have done a little bit of journaling almost an hour before bedtime about what has been going through our mind all day and what have we done, so that we have a closure of the activities for the day. Second thing is, the third thing is that we also need to have some kind of physical soothers. Like for some people who have chronic insomnia, it may be a good time to have warm milk and with turmeric or something before you go to sleep. The fourth thing is that you need to also practice some relaxation techniques just before you sleep, like lying down on the bed and doing a Yog Nidra procedure or a Shavasana procedure, or even doing what is known as JPMR, that is the Jacobson's Progressive Muscles Relaxation Technique, would be very useful. And there are other techniques like, say, by Sadhguru, you have the Isha Kriya, which is a very nice technique which helps you to calm down both the mind and body. You can do any of these things in order to slow down. Then, for some people, having a warm shower is helpful to induce sleep. Always wear bedtime clothings which are loose and light and cotton, preferably. And in the daytime, it would be preferable that you do not use your bed for any other purpose. So keep your bedroom and your bedtime and your bed only for sleeping. So don't use the bed all day to sit and work on it. That tends to decrease the association of sleep. So these are some small tips that one can use to um, keep yourself calm and then get a good and healthy sleep. And apart from that, those people who are experiencing insomnia because of this COVID anxiety, so you need to practice certain other relaxation techniques like what we saw just before my session, like doing these pranayam. They are very helpful to help get the body to calm down, and even the mind to calm down. And the mudras are also useful to induce sleep and handle anxiety. Yeah.
Also, ma'am, we received this very important question that how important is the mental balance, keeping the mental balance in the digital age? Because now every sector is developing in the digital sector right now, and every sector is going digital, be it IT, be it healthcare, media, everything is going digital now. So how important is to maintain the balance of our mental health, and to maintain this balance of using technology and also feeling the nature. So how important it is, ma'am? If you can just say a few words on it.
6. Yeah, extremely important to maintain a balance between digital life and mental health for every aspect of your being. So we should not get very much carried away by all this, virtual life and internet solutions that are coming up for all the things that we need. Because in future, if we were to do this more and more, you can see that there are drastic effects. Your concentration, your attention, your memory, your social skills, your anxiety, depression, all of that is going to happen. There'll be impaired mental functioning, and there'll also be impaired social functioning, and social emotional functioning may also become impaired. So we will have to envision a life where we reduce our work hours if we are working purely on the screen. So instead of having a work day of 6 to 8 hours, we might want to compress it to a work life of about 4 hours. And then, so that we've got other things to do which do not involve the screen. And we have to have outdoor activity that allows our senses to engage in the external environment in a much more full manner. Like, for those of us who are cooped up in our rooms all day and talking to the screen and working on it, it's very important that we step out, feel the sun, feel the heat, feel uh, the wind, and also to feel the different smells and sounds. We need our senses to get all of those experiences, and that too not just for very short 5 or 10 minutes. We need them for sustained periods of time in our life. So we would have to think about these things eventually. It's very important to strike a digital and mental life balance. Yeah.
Ma'am, if you can also say a few words about how to handle the children, teenagers, and who are doing online classes now. They are also getting addicted to it, and they are having this taste of technology at a very young age due to pandemic. If you can share a few tips for the parents, basically, who are watching us, how can guide the children how to balance between technology and normal day-to-day lives.
Yes, yes. So parents, I would say that you have to take a very bold step in order to make, if you want your child and you to have a good relationship and to have a good balance of the use of such screen technology in your life. So encourage your child, if they have their school use, encourage them to be there for only that period of time when they have the teaching. If possible, join them so that you can help them engage better in the class, because it's been almost every parent and child I meet, they tell me that they hate online classes, and they say that I cannot understand anything. It's just too much to keep on listening to the teacher all the time. Because in a classroom, so much more is happening that actually, engages a child. But unfortunately, the online platform doesn't allow all of that. So the parent might have to take on a more active role in the education of the child for that time. That's one thing. The second thing is that for the entire family, they have to think that, for a period of time, we are going to lock away all our devices and just be with each other, no matter how hard that seems. So it has to become like a fun activity, like let's all go and put the mobiles in the cupboard and lock it, keep the key away in this place for the next 2 hours. We're just going to be with each other and do things together, whatever we can think of. It may be conversation, it can be games, it can be anything. It may be even a fight. But then eventually you might learn how to deal with yourselves better over this thing. So that's one thing. So like having a detox time, have a digital fasting time, that becomes very important. Now these words also are going to become a part of our vocabulary, and they're extremely necessary. So engage your child with manipulable toys and games and activities out of the teaching hours, so that they also feel there's something to look forward to. An emotional connection with your child will help them so much more than anything else that you can provide them on mobiles or buy them from the shop. Just your being there, loving and caring for your child, and doing things together makes life so much more bearable for them. Yeah.
So, well, to summarize all, ma'am, we have to strike a balance between our mental health and our day-to-day lives. It is very, very important. So, we'll be coming up with more sessions every month on psychiatry, and we would like to collaborate with you again in the future, ma'am. And please, if you can contribute more and more articles, and we will be putting up on our blogs and articles section of our Panacea website, which is panacea.eletsonline.com. And thank you so much, ma'am, for the session today and gracing the occasion. Thank you so much, and we'll definitely get in touch with you future.
Thank you so much, Pooja. It's been lovely talking about this, and I wish all our viewers and audience a very happy Sunday and a digital detoxified Sunday. Okay. Yeah. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. So, as we move on to our next session on tuberculosis awareness initiative, we have with us Dr. Valnal Felas, who is the State Tuberculosis Officer, Government of Mizoram. So, I would request my team to please play the video and as we move forward to the tuberculosis awareness initiative.
अपने लिए निकटतम सेहत संबंधी सुविधाएं कैसे खोजें? मुझे टीबी के इलाज की जानकारी कैसे मिलेगी? सरकार अपनी तमाम योजनाओं के जरिए मुझे कितनी मदद कर रही है? पेश है टीबी आरोग्य साथी। ये आम लोगों और टीबी रोगियों के लिए एक वन स्टॉप सॉल्यूशन है जो टीबी इलाज के बारे में सारी जानकारी देता है। कार्यक्रम के तहत पंजीकृत रोगी सरल चरणों का पालन कर आसानी से ऐप में लॉगिन कर सकते हैं। एक बार लॉगिन करने के बाद आप अपने इलाज की जानकारी ले सकते हैं। ट्रीटमेंट डिटेल्स रोगी के टीबी इलाज की प्रगति का विवरण प्रदान करता है। अडेरेंस डिटेल्स जैसे कि इलाज के दौरान परहेज का पालन आसानी से किया जा सकता है। निक्षय पोषण योजना और जनजातीय परिवहन सहायता योजना के लिए प्रत्यक्ष लाभ हस्तांतरण की स्थिति भी ऐप पर आसानी से जांचा जा सकता है। टीबी आरोग्य साथी ऐप गूगल प्ले स्टोर में डाउनलोड के लिए मुफ्त उपलब्ध है। आज ही एप्लीकेशन डाउनलोड करें।
A very good morning, everyone, at Panacea. Today we have this TB Awareness Initiative session with us, and we welcome Dr. P. Valnafella, State TB Officer, Government of Mizoram. I welcome you, sir, to the session of Panacea today about TB Awareness Initiative. Sir, if you can speak a little bit about the kind of work which is being done by your state government about tuberculosis and awareing the entire state right now. So if you can please, sir, enlighten us about the work which is being done right now.
From the outset, it is very important that we start from diagnosis of TB. TB diagnosis here in Mizoram, we did sputum microscopy, CBNet, and culture. We have not done yet, but culture DST we are going to start very soon, and X-ray and pathological examination are the main tools for diagnosis of TB patients. uh, out of that, this sputum microscopy we did in every hospital, even private, PHC, CHC, and sub-district hospital and all. Yeah. And after that, we did treatment of TB patients. TB treatment patient is available in district TB center, in PHC, CHC, and hospital also. And private hospital, we work with some private hospital also. They are giving uh, TB treatment. Uh, um, Beyond that, we have also treating patient at the home of the patient, with our people, like health worker, nurses, or voluntary worker, or those treatment supporter at the home of the patients. We are doing treatments, uh, means from hospital up to the home of the patients. So then, if the patient is suspected with resistant TB, then we test with CBNet, and after that we send our sputum sample to uh, Guwahati Culture and DST lab. Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir, if you can tell us about the kind of testing which is being done by the state government with the people suffering from HIV. If you can tell us about that a bit.
Okay, HIV patients who are taking treatment from ART centers, they screen uh, TB symptoms. Those who are suspected with TB are sent to district TB center or microscopy center or PHC, where diagnosis is done, and afterward treatment will continue. Then those who are diagnosed with TB patient are also screened. They are, for HIV. They, they are referred to ART center again. So cross referral system is working in Mizoram, uh, at at ART center, at DMC, at DTC.
Sir, what about the
Okay.
supply chain management, which is reaching out to major districts in the state? So, if you can tell us about the supply chain management of the state government.
Yes, madam. This supply, uh, in Guwahati there is GMSD store. From GMSD store, uh, supply came to state drugstore. From the state drugstore, we are distributing to district drugstores. Uh, some are courier, but usually from district from state drugstore, we send it to district drugstore by Mexican services, or any services available which are convenient uh, uh, for, for which are convenient for the district. and from the state also. So from district, they are distributing to uh, DMC or PHI. We send it by Mexico again. So as in Mizoram, in our state, this supply chain management is not so easy because of this transportation is difficult in some part of the state. So we utilize whatever services available, that communication available in most of the districts. This Mexicab service are available. We are utilizing it. Okay, ma'am.
Sir, yes, sir. Sir, if you can tell us about the policy interventions of the state in treating tuberculosis patients.
Yeah, state government uh, in the state, this as I've already tell you that this treating TB patient at the most periphery we utilize volunteers. For example, ASA or any volunteers. He may be school teacher, he may be uh, shopkeeper, or religious leaders are utilized. At the at the at the district level, this tuberculosis centers are there. All these district tuberculosis centers are functioning. So the state government is utilizing, is giving us uh, numbers of uh, health workers, uh, healthcare workers, like those who are dedicated in the TB program also are used, and they are supplemented from state government also. And those who are in PHC and district hospital are also utilized. Those who are they may be nurse, he may be uh, pharmacist, or uh, a convenience staff that the hospital authorities are deployed. So in other hospital like sub district hospital also, we are utilizing uh, those human resources that are available in the sub district hospital, uh, such as likewise in smaller centers like primary health center or CHC. mm, those who are available staffs like pharmacists or nurses can be utilized for giving treatment. And sometimes the government are uh, giving us some uh, treatment which are supportive uh, for uh, uh, for TB drugs. No, not only TB drugs, and other ancillary drugs also are purchased from government. so we utilize it. Uh, okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Sir, if you can also tell us about the kind of infrastructure in the hospitals, the kind of infrastructure we have in the state government treating the TB patients.
Yeah, for diagnosis, we have got in most of the district hospitals, we have got laboratory, uh, X-ray, and other medical facilities, different facilities. Those are useful for diagnosis of TB patients. Like uh, uh, in the PHC and district hospitals are quite different. Still, then uh, microscopy for uh, diagnosis of TB patients are available in uh, most of the uh, hospital and PHCs. X-ray facilities are there also. In some hospital, pathological examination also is available for diagnosis of TB patients.
Sir, any campaign which is being run, if you want to speak about any kind of campaigns which is being run uh, by the TB department.
We do it. This campaign means the local cable also we did campaigning off and on, and we have leaflet and we distributed leaflet also, and we have got a video clip also that and other at the community level also public meeting. We used to have public meeting, and those who are treatment provider, we 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 did meeting with treatment provider, and we uh, at the school also we visit school, and we did campaign for the school childrens and public at large. Uh, we used to do public meetings, and a newspaper, or sometimes in newspaper also we write in newspaper some articles, uh, like thing and posters, uh, like banners. Those campaign also we did off and on in and depending on availability of fan. Fan is very important also. So okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir. So, if you would like to say a few words about awareing people and how to stop the spread of tuberculosis on your as your parting note, sir, it will be really beneficial for the viewers.
Yeah. For prevention of TB, diagnosis and proper treatment is very important. Because if we diagnose uh, early, treatment is easy, and those who are diagnosed late, treatments may become difficult. So, report from the part of the patient, early reporting is very important. So, we campaign to those who are having cough with fever, uh, cough, say more than 2 weeks, fever, hemoptysis, or weight loss, loss of appetites are very important TB symptoms. So those patients who are having these symptoms, they should report it uh, very early, as soon as possible. Uh, so then, as cough is very important. If TB patient have cough, they they have cough. Even if they spit sputum here and there, that may spread the disease. So we should tell the patients not to spit outside, and to cover their mouth with handkerchief or whatever materials available with them. So cough ethic, we should teach cough ethics also. So if the patient uh, is going to have cough, so yeah, if he knows cough ethics, that will help for uh, for this not to spread to other people. So mm, those who are having symptoms like fever or long duration, uh, it is very helpful that the patient visit doctor very early, like weight loss, uh, loss of appetites and all. Those symptoms, if the patient have, they should suspect and then report it uh, early to doctor. That help to check the transmission of TB diseases. Okay, ma'am.
Well, sir, thank you so much for
Hmm.
taking the session today for tuberculosis awareness initiative. And we would like to thank you from the team of Panacea for gracing the occasion, gracing the session today. We'll get back to you, sir,
Okay,
for
thank you,
future
ma'am.
prospects, and please contribute your valuable articles with us. We'll put it up on our blogs and articles section. I'll get in touch with you, sir, for the collaboration. Thank you so much, sir, for your
Okay,
time.
thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.